I left my boyfriend while he was going through depression because he refused to get help. My boyfriend Jake and I had been together for 5 years and have 2 kids together, Emma, who's 2.5, and baby Owen, who was only 8 weeks old when this all went down. Jake had always been this fun, energetic dad who would play with Emma every night after work and help with bedtime routines. But around 3 months ago, everything changed. Jake started coming home from his job at the warehouse and just going straight to the couch. He'd sit there scrolling his phone for hours, barely talking to me or Emma. He stopped playing with her completely, wouldn't help with bath time, and got annoyed when she asked him to read stories. At first I thought he was just tired from work and adjusting to having 2 kids, but then he stopped showering regularly, quit going to his weekly basketball games with his friends, and started snapping at me over tiny things like leaving dishes in the sink or Emma being too loud while playing. The house felt like a funeral home. Emma kept asking why Daddy was always sad, and I didn't know what to tell her. Jake would just sit there during dinner, not talking, making everyone feel uncomfortable. Even when Owen would cry, Jake would just ignore it and leave me to handle everything alone. I've dealt with depression myself for years and take medication for it, so I knew exactly what was happening. I tried talking to him about seeing a doctor or maybe calling his insurance to find a therapist. Every time I brought it up, he'd get angry and say therapy was for crazy people and that he was fine. The breaking point came when Emma spilled her juice at breakfast and started crying because she was scared Daddy would yell at her. That's when I realized my 2-year-old was walking on eggshells around her own father. Jake just sat there eating his cereal like nothing happened while Emma sobbed. I told him that same day that either he gets help within a week or me and the kids were leaving to stay with my sister. He laughed and said I was being dramatic, that every guy goes through rough patches and I was making a big deal out of nothing. So I packed up the kids and left that weekend. I drove 3 hours to my sister's house with 2 car seats, a diaper bag, and basically our entire life stuffed into garbage bags. Emma kept asking when we were going home, and I had to explain that we were staying with Aunt Lisa for a while. Jake didn't even call for 2 days. When he finally did, he was furious and said I was abandoning him during the worst time of his life. I told him he abandoned us first by refusing to get help when his family needed him to be healthy. 3 weeks later, he finally called a therapist. But by then, I'd already filed for temporary custody and started the separation paperwork. My sister's house became our new normal, and honestly, Emma started smiling again within days. Jake's in counseling now and on antidepressants, but it took me leaving with his children for him to realize how serious this was.